So, Gemeinhardt flute. We on? Gemeinhardt flute. Open it up. Make sure the top's at the top. Name, name's always at the top. And don't pick it up by one key, but pick it up by the ends. Again, I call it the corn on the cob method. Know where you can hurt it, picking up by this way, as opposed to bending one key. So, the biggest pet peeve I have with the teachers is they want you to hold it here, and again, I'm picking it up by the end, and they want you to go like this. And you're going like this, and I get them, and the ends are destroyed from going like this and like this. So you have no control. So they said, well, you don't want to touch the keys, but you're going to grab not one key, but all the keys, hands right together, and just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it should go on just perfect. So same thing with the other end, no keys up here to mess with. You're picking it up by the end, and again, it just goes in, wiggle, 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 and just a beautiful dry fit, no lubrication or anything. So when you're done, if you look down the flute, it should go down this rod, down the plane of the pads, right to the hole.
Okay.
Okay? So before any of that happens, you got to get a sound out of it. So if you don't get a sound out of it, there's not much sense getting the flute out. So you should be able to play just the headpiece.
Okay.
So, get mine. I got my poor old demo flute here, it barely even plays, but. So it's basically the blowing across the Coke bottle, the old jug band, you know, the kids never, they don't know anything about that. But the bottom lip is gonna go right up against the edge here. You're gonna blow an airstream pretty much the size of a strand of spaghetti. Because you go, and no noise comes out. So what's happening is you're blowing at this knife edge and the air goes in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and all of a sudden you have a vibration that causes a noise. And again, they probably never did it, but if you put a piece of grass between your thumbs and you can blow it and make a little sound. Or it's sort of like whistling. So bottom lip right against that hole, and you kind of find it, and the best thing is a mirror. And if you imagine you got like some kid, I say watermelon seeds, but the kids said sunflower seeds, which are even smaller. So you want that small of an airstream focused right at the end. That opposite edge. So this is making all the sound. All this is doing is giving you, amplifying it, and making it longer and longer and longer so you can get a little slower and lower and lower. And like in the old days, the flutes didn't have any keys. They're just like recorders. They just had holes in them. So the more holes you close, the lower the note is. Just like the same physics as a trombone. So again, you're blowing right at that knife edge. And if it doesn't happen, there's a sweet spot in there. If you go too far one way, it's not going to work. If you go too far the other way, it's not going to work. And if you blow twice as fast, not hard, but fast. So you got all this air, you want it down to the size of a BB or a sunflower seed or whatever. And of course, the fat side goes towards you. It's hard to tell without the flute.
Okay.
Kids starting to play the wrong way. And, it's this zoom thing. And if you blow twice as fast, you get what's called the next partial up. So you're doubling the speed, so you're doubling the frequency, which doubles the pitch. So it's all physics and science and all this kind of stuff. So the next thing, once you get the sound, is they go, and that's all they get, like a microsecond of sound. But you got to be able to forever. So the thing is like equated to like a balloon. You let a balloon go, and it's done. But if you take it and go squeak, 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 it lasts a long time and you actually get the noise out of it. And the tighter you pull it, the higher the note goes. So you got to get a balloon. So
Yeah.
this is the balloon down here, and they want to breathe like this up here, but this is where your lungs are, but your balloon's down here, your diaphragm's down here. So you want to, and I can be completely out of air, and I can just push here, and I can get another couple seconds of air, just like squeezing the bag type thing. And by getting that different stops and starts, I'm going two, 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 or again, I'm spitting the BB thing, or so, and then when you put the whole thing together, then you can play more than 2 notes because you have all these holes. So the problem with the flute, there's no neck strap, but the cool thing, there's no reeds. You don't have to have any. You don't have to have valve oil, and have all that stuff. Comes in the smallest case. It'll fit right in the backpack. But then with the notes. So I can play the same note. And all the other instruments, they give you a key to do that. You push a key and it opens the hole and gives you the higher note. With the flute, you do it all with your breath pressure or speed. Not pressure, but speed. What's that one? So that's the first song you play, is just 3 blind mice. And what they do is they put this finger down, this one comes up. So if you do that, you get a different note. So that finger has to go down, then that finger has to go down, then that finger has to go, then this one, this one, this one, and this one does the little pinky goes down here.
Okay.
So if this is over here,
they won't reach.
you can't really reach it. So if that's lined up, it just happens to fit right under your finger. So if you get the sound, get a good sound, you can play it for a long time, then you can put it on here. They spend sometimes weeks just with this part.
Okay.
Just buzzing on the trumpet mouthpiece, just squawking on the clarinet mouthpiece. So then, when you're done, you have cleaning rod. This goes like a little sewing thing, except it's a little easier. I can do it without my glasses. That goes on here. And then, again, you take it out by the ends, and I tell them it's just like cleaning the shotgun. You just run that in and out. And I actually, and you run it through all the pieces, and I actually just leave it in there.
Okay.
Because to leave it like this, it's all hanging out.
Yeah.
And the only problem I had, one teacher came over, and said, this flute doesn't play. And of course, left the cleaner and the rod inside the flute. So you do have to remember to take it out, which is pretty obvious. And then there's another cloth that actually polishes to get all your fingerprints off. It's silver, so it will tarnish and it'll end up looking ugly like this one if it's not wiped off all the time.
Okay.
So, so the problem they do is they take the polish cloth and they wad it into a little ball and put it right in the middle of the case and bend the keys.
Oh.
So it wants to be distributed evenly across the flute.
Okay.
These are too big. And this will clean the fingerprints off the outside. These dollar store scissors aren't the best. ever go in there up in Scotts Valley?
Oh yeah, and we live in Scotts Valley, so yeah,
It's
definitely.
much better than the one we have down here. But anyhow. So this one, again, you take it out by the ends, and everywhere you touch it, you get these little fingerprints. So you just kind of get rid of them, and it'll stay nice and shiny.
Oh yeah.
And see, just in that little time. And I get them where they're just black. There's
That
they're
doesn't.
all over the place, like
Yeah.
anyway, especially around the mouthpiece.
Okay.
And then, see, that's just
Yeah.
like that. So then it goes here, nicely distributed, keeps the flute in place, latch it, and then the final, oh, she took my tape. Here's the big stuff.
Perfect. Perfect.
Name and phone number.
Perfect.
The end.